Hello everyone and welcome back. Today topic is triangles. So these price signals that I'm going to discuss today can either, give us a signal whether the market or the price is reversing or there's some continuation pattern. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Over here, I've drawn a few patterns and you can see that if you're an experienced trader or even if you've got basic knowledge, some wedges there, double tops, head and shoulder, you can see that there, and the other bits, of course. So trading patterns are normally classified based on the potential price directions of the pattern. So you've got the reversal patterns, for example, your double tops, head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulders, falling wedges, diamond bottoms, and then the continuation patterns. You can have sometimes, of course, this will signal a pause to the price movement. So you can have some falling wedge, you can have bullish pennant, you can have the bullish triangle, the bearish pennant. Most of the wedges, flags, and pennants fall under this one here. And other bits, of course, triangles, they can be classified as bilateral patterns or continuation patterns as well. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So these patterns, know that they can fail. It's not always a definite that, things are going to go that way, down or up. You just need some confirmation before you actually buy. And don't force them. If you can't draw them, just find a software platform that draws them for you. So I'm going to start with the ascending symmetrical triangle over there. So let's start, for example, with the ascending triangle. So this ascending triangle, it's a bullish pattern, and normally you'll see higher lows and similar highs hitting on the resistance line, as you can see there, and bouncing back, bouncing up, back inside that triangle, and eventually it breaks through that resistance line and the price goes up once the buyers keep buying. And you need to just set your target price and entry. So entry is normally just above that resistance line, and your target price, I'll discuss that later on about that target price for all these, how you can set it up looking at the base and placing that size at the top of the resistance line in an ascending triangle. So that's your ascending triangle there. If the upside is occurring, this is usually accompanied by increasing volume to actually reinforce the trend. So this is in an ascending triangle. If the volume is decreasing in an ascending triangle, then you actually need to monitor and see what's going on there, because you actually need to be looking at the volume as well. So as I said before, that the price tends to be going, up. So you'll see some higher lows and some steady similar highs going on during this period here. So if you want to clearly distinguish, to actually see that, this is an ascending triangle, you should be able to see an upward slope, then a flat top. So the flat resistance at the top, and then you should be able to see the rising support line, and both of them will meet at the apex, as you can see over there. So now we're going to talk about the descending triangle, which I've drawn there. So mostly this is seen in the downtrend. And of course, some say volume is not an issue here, but I always like to look at the volume to actually see what is actually, going on here, because you cannot just ignore the volume, because it also tells you quite a lot. So this is a bearish signal, and you should see some lower lows and lower highs in between that triangle. And the sellers here are normally pushing the price down, and they will push it past the support level, and the price will start going lower. So as well, you need to set your targets here, measuring that base as well. So then you've got the symmetrical triangle there, and here the stock movement decreases in this triangle area while the pattern is being formed. Lower highs and the higher lows are being formed as well. So the buyers and the sellers here drive the price up and down, and until we actually get a clear trend and see what's going on, or get a better picture in the market. I'll give some examples shortly. So I was just talking about that. The ascending pattern, it's bullish, and you should see some higher lows in those triangles. If you're not sure about these higher lows and high highs I'm talking about, I'll just give you an example in the next slide. And also you can visit my previous presentation I did on bar charts and open, high, low, close bar charts. It's on YouTube as well. So the descending pattern, it's more bearish. You're going to see some more of these lower lows, and also look out for the lower highs inside that triangle. The symmetrical pattern, it can be bullish or bearish. So it's got some lower highs and some lower lows in there. As you can see, I've flipped back to the previous slide there. So this symmetrical pattern here, it is, and I've actually discussed about it, about what goes on there. So you just want to wait for that confirmation, because it can go either way, bullish or bearish. So just wait for some confirmation, whether it's 1 or 2 days before you do anything. So the higher highs and higher lows, you can see these bar charts here. Bar charts. So with candles as well, you can actually draw these triangles. So depending on what works for you. So you can see some higher highs here and some higher lows when the price is going up, and you can see some lower lows and lower highs when the price is going down. So I've got an example here. I've got a chart here, which is SWM media stock, which dipped during COVID last year, around in March in 2020. So some of these triangles can be clearly seen here, where you got ascending triangles, bullish pattern. You could have easily bought when that price went past that resistance. So it kept going up there. So you can add some indicators as well to help you to see if this pattern is going to continue, and then you can hold on longer as well. So I've drawn some descending triangle bearish patterns there. You can see that. You can also see some symmetrical triangles there, and one of it, I can see a bullish one there, and then there's another bearish one there. So as you can see, the symmetrical triangle pattern, so it can go either way. It can go up, it can go down. So depending on what happens when these buyers and sellers fight. So always remember, these charts are all about buyers and sellers fighting all the time. So don't complicate it. It will be easier that way. So these patterns as well are strong patterns that use supply and demand imbalances in the market. So once you understand, what's going on, how to read them, what color, open, high, low, close, those kind of things will become much easier. So if a triangle succeeds, it's a continuation pattern. And then at times it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, it becomes a powerful reversal pattern. So you just need to know. And with a symmetrical triangle here, the trend most of the times tends to go in the direction of the initial move. So you need to look at, for example, this one here. You can see it was trending upwards really. So when those symmetrical triangles came, the trend continued. So that's what I'm trying to say here. So this is another example here, DW8. You could have easily traded that one, looking at these triangles, waiting for it to go past that resistance, and then you buy, and then set your target, and then you sell, because this stock went to, I think it's about 10.5 or above 10 cents, and you could have easily got in at about 4 cents. Then another example I've got is Crow. You could have easily bought there. I have highlighted some buy areas as well there on Crow. And you could have easily sold higher there if you had been looking at these triangles. So I did hourly over 3 months for these ones. And then this one as well, DW8, a closer view. So you can see where you could have bought when the price actually broke out and went past that resistance. It went right up there. So that's DW8. And this was, I think, today actually. So that was today, Tuesday the 9th of March 2021. That's DW8. And then another example I've got here, back again, SWM, just to give you a closer view, so you can actually see that descending pattern, and you can actually see the price falling there. So you could have actually sold there and then started buying again lower. I remember seeing it at 11 cents. That sort of thing. So points to take. identify if it's a real breakout or if it's just a false one. Wait for confirmation. And as well, watch the volume spiking, increase in volume and what's happening to the price as well. Add other indicators, because sometimes the RSI actually works, because it's an indicator showing some momentum. It's a momentum based indicator. See what indicators work for you, which ones you're familiar with, what you want to add. Set the price. Measure the base of the triangle, where I've actually written in the slide, where I've written the base, and then that's the longest distance between the support and the resistance. So if it's breaking upwards, place that distance above the resistance line for the ascending triangle, and below the support level if it's a descending triangle. So you know where you place your stop losses, you know where to buy, you know where to get out. So that's the most important thing there. And as well, check what trend it was before these triangles came, because that will give you an indication of where it's going as well. And the sell signal, some people just use once that support line is penetrated going to the downside, then they sell, and vice versa. They buy once the resistance line is penetrated to the upside. They see that as a buy signal. So as well, by now, I think most traders know that with TA, the support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support, and vice versa, depending if the price is going up or if it's going lower. So the more you do these things with TA, the more you'll actually be familiar with most of these things. So the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So don't complicate things. Find what works for you and use that. So I hope you find some stocks, draw the triangles, and then decide what to do with them. So if you like the video, subscribe below and give us some likes. I'll see you on Twitter. Happy trading, everyone, and don't panic.